Hi Soul family. Not been on for a few days. I've been at my daughter's helping her. She's just had a new baby. So excited. What I've been getting at the minute is that you have done so much work on yourself. You have really been coming into a place where you felt like you feel like you're being guided. You're starting to see the patterning of everything. You're understanding a lot more about why you've gone through all the things that you've gone through. It's all starting to make sense. They're showing you that you came here with a purpose, and the purpose was to share your voice. You were going to be someone that was going to inspire others to go on their journey, that they felt that they have not been able to share their story. But by you sharing your story is going to help others know that it's okay in a safe space to be able to speak their truth. They're saying that, you've maybe been starting to, or some of you have been really dancing with life at the moment. You felt like you've got a lot done. You felt like you've been able to handle a lot of situations that you normally wouldn't have been able to handle. You have watched how others have dealt with situations in their life, and at one time, you would have done the same, but now you have started to understand that you are settling in now to the fact of that not everything needs a reaction. Like I said, they're saying now that you are going to start coming into a place where your soul tribe's going to be coming in, your actual soul tribe, the ones who are here to help you share your voice. You're laying foundations. It is your divine plan. You are here to help as many people as you can to share God's word. You're here to bring everyone to the understanding that it's okay now to speak. There's a lot more of us now that are starting to understand that we need to share our voice. We are the ones that are raising the frequency right now with everything that's going on in the world. A lot of us have felt like we didn't know how this was going to work. That by us speaking, would it have actually helped? Because we've come to a point where we have literally thought, how can this get better? But this is what they're saying now, that it's the gathering of all of us waking up now. I mean, we've been waking up for years, but it's we're all coming together, but this is through sharing your voice. This is you now coming out of the cave. This is you now understanding that it's okay to be who you are and help others on their journey too. And this is where we're all going to find our soul people, because this is the perfect time now. We're being called now to stand up and call in our soul family. We came here with our soul family, and by us sharing our voices and by us doing what we're doing, we are returning. They're asking you, what does your new story look like for you? What is it that you decide now? Because they're saying that you are coming into alignment now, and it's all coming together. But you can see this now. This isn't just a knowing anymore. This is you, well, it is a knowing, but this is not just an idea that, you know, we've been having, saying that this is actually coming together now. This is you actually writing your new story. You know, you will know, or you feel that this is something that you're meant to be doing, and you've kind of had some ideas of what it is, but this is what they're saying. The ideas are not just ideas. The ideas are soul alignment. This is where you're meant to be going. And they're saying that through everything that you've gone through, you've come out of the other side a stronger, better person. You're more adaptable. You don't, whereas at one point, you know, things got you really angry because just nothing seemed right. So you was around a lot of angry people, so you became angry. And, you know, there had been a time where you just didn't have any energy for anything. You know, the little things seemed really hard. But they're saying now this is where you've been cleaning house, you've been cleaning mind. You are starting to feel like something good is coming, and they're saying that is because something good is coming. You have been doing the inner work. You've been cleaning your temple, because we are the temple, hence that we have temples at the side of our head. This is our very own church. This is our, well, it's not even a church, because churches were taken over and made places to gain money, to siphon energies. And I don't want to offend anyone in this respect, because it's not about, you know, what I'm meaning is that churches originally, and what was meant to be taught and people to be guided, turned into a place where they would take money, take energy from you. This is why they all have the steeples, and they all have the, you know, they all have the symbolisms on the churches to show us about energies. And what's been happening is that when we step into a church upset and hurt, to go to God, to go get guidance, this is where they then siphon our energy. This is where, you know, because I used to go into church and I really, you know, would pour my heart out. I didn't know what to do. I'd go there for guidance, I'd go there for comfort. And the only place that I've ever felt guided and got comfort from is that when I personally talk to God. We've been taught to be separate, you know, to separate ourselves from God, that we have to go to one to get to the other. And I'm sure now that you speak to God, I have been shown this for quite some time. Like I said, we are the temples. You know, you've been cleaning everything. You know, and even if you're not eating clean and you're not drinking clean and you're not, you know, you have been cleaning thoughts, your processes. You have been coming into alignment with knowing that you can just go to the divine. You are perfectly on time. You know, you chose, which is why you become a chosen one, because you choose to not listen to the outside world, to not take on everybody else's responsibilities. You have loved helping others and guiding others, whereas before you'd have done things even though you didn't want to do them, because you were such a kind person and all you wanted to do was help people. Now you're understanding that, you know, you can give when your cup is, you know, when you can flow. When your cup's been drained, you then go in and heal yourself, and you can say no now. You are starting to have boundaries. You value your time. You have beliefs now where you believe that you can be anything that you want to be once you come one with God. It's about soul alignment. And once we become, because this is now where we're being called to gather, to help one another, to know that it's okay now to come out of our caves. And this is because of all the work that we've been doing. This is the time now. This is the return of your story. This is now the perfect time. I don't know why it's going that way. But this is your perfect time. Speak your truth with passion. Go back to the heart of who you truly are. There you will find peace. Look at your life in its entirety. Acknowledge any old wounds and then release them. Use what they taught you as added strength. Keep moving forward with a renewed sense of confidence. So this is it now. You can look at your life in its entirety. You have been looking at the wounds and you've been acknowledging that things that have happened in your life have evolved you. And they have taken your strength in the past. But that's because we didn't know any better. And it's not even about not knowing any better. It's about it wasn't the right time to do that. We've had to come through so many things, situations, people, to be able to look back and say, wow, I really got through that. If I can get through that, I can get through anything. And this is what it's been about all along. It's about you acknowledging your strength, knowing that you, no matter what life has thrown at you, that you've managed to catch every single storm that's been thrown at you and you've built yourself a home. You've built your home. Because this is home. All of you, wherever you are, home is where the heart is. And you've started to acknowledge that you are home. And for a long time it's been hard to really settle in here. It's always felt like no matter where you've gone, that you've always never felt at home truly. There's always been something that you're looking for. And the reason that you've been looking for something outside of yourself is because all along that you've needed to accept and love who you are. You've came home to yourself, or you are coming home to yourself. You're saying this is the beginning of your journey now, where you are seeing that you are a beautiful soul. And you've been wanting, to find people like yourself. And this is where Divine's saying, you are on that journey now where you are going to start finding people like yourself. Because you've become in alignment with that. It's like turning on your radio station and you wanting to watch 98 FM, say for instance, I'm not sure even what that is. But you're wanting to watch 98 FM, but you've been tuning into 102 and then wondering why you can't hear 98 FM. They're showing me that when we are not on 98 FM, we're not going to hear that station. And now we are coming into balance now, where we can hear that station. We are coming into our frequency that we came here to be on. And it was always going to be this time for you, no matter what age that you are, that you're watching this right now, clarification. No matter what age that you are, it was the perfect time, and it's always going to have been the perfect time. They want you to really love yourself for how far that you've come and really truly acknowledge the strength that you hold now within. And there is nothing now that can be a part of you, because they're saying that, again, I'm showing this all the time, that, when you become a light being, well, you've always been a light being, but when you recognise that, there is still always going to be, huge boulders all little boulders, you know, but there's always going to be them on your path. But now you have the skills to be able to come to that boulder and understand how to get around it now. You know that boulder's not going to stop you there in your tracks. It's not going to hold you back. That you're going to know that when you come to that boulder, that boulder is just going to be a new way for you to gain some new strength, some new wisdom, because we're always learning. There's never going to be a time where here that we're not going to learn. But it's the wisdom that you're picking up along the way that's going to inspire you into something else along the way. You know, today you could be a speaker, tomorrow you could be a guide. Well, not could be. You, by being a speaker, you become a guide. Sorry. This is about you now sending help to others. This is about the return. The return. It's all coming together. Trust yourself more. Know that you are in the right place at the right time. Opportunities will present themselves to you when they are meant to. All in divine timing. Get excited about the future again instead of fearing it. Because this is it. We feared it so much that it always did stop us in our tracks when we got to that boulder. We didn't think that we could get over that boulder, and then years down the line, you know, sometimes we don't even look at the fact that we got around that boulder. We just get around the boulder and we carry on, and you know, and then we get a new challenge, and we don't sit there and thank you, that's clarification. We don't see that we got past the boulder, and it becomes insignificant. But they want you to know that it was very significant. Each boulder that you came to on your journey is what guided you to become really, really strong. And they're saying if you haven't noticed the boulders, well, you did, obviously you are, sorry, they are saying that you have noticed the boulders, but you didn't realise the strength that you gained throughout each boulder that you came to. They're saying that you sometimes don't recognise how truly strong that you are, but you divinely sent. You are immensely strong. And they're saying each time that you never gave up and you moved forward, you became a person who seeded the light. You're the one that, you know, all the cracks that you gained throughout yourself, every time that a rock was chucked at you and you became a little bit more cracked and a little bit more fragile, they're saying that that's where the light got in. You was always meant to be fragile for those times, because that's when you truly understood that even when everyone around you was getting angry for truly the situations that they were truly in, that you didn't do that. That you learned that, you know, you became more vulnerable, you became more sensitive. And in those times, that's when you was speaking to God. That's when you became one with God. Because the trust that you gained each time you spoke to God, the trust along the way, has been what's helped you now to become who you are today, because you cried out to God in all those moments instead of going to others, because others never understood your journey. Others always just wanted to talk about their journey when you spoke about yours. That you started to rely and trust in God. And that's where God's saying now, this is where you now are being cloaked and shown all the knowledge to inspire and guide others now on your journey, on their journey, on your journey together. This is about you now coming out of the cave, coming out of the persecution, because you are now here to express yourself and call in your soul tribe. But they want you to know one thing: there is going to be a fiery climax that's going to approach. But this is what they want you to know in this situation, is that you can and will overcome any obstacle that gets put in your way. This last, well, not this last, but this fiery climax that's coming up is to show you who you truly become. Because how you handle this next season is going to show you the reasons as to why you are the way that you are. and why you are the one here to show that God is within you, God is with you at all times, that we're all one. How you treat another is how you're going to be treated yourself. So send help out to others, and others will send help to you. This is now about us becoming a community of light to be able to spread, to show others that it's okay. But they also want you to know that the anger and everything that you've gone through has been for you to know that how strong you are to come out of that. And that if you can come out of that, there's hope for others to so send help and hope to others. But dance with life, because you've done absolutely amazing, and they truly, truly, truly are amazed by how far you've come. They want you to call in your healing spirits. If you could have one wish, what would it be? This is what they want you to do now, or if you choose to do so, is to, write your new story. What does your story now look like? Instead of the stories that you've always believed, because when we're brought up, we're shown that life is what life is. We go through one journey to the next journey. We have people that come in and they have their journeys, and we become swept up in along the way with theirs. And we start to think, oh, well, this is what life is. What they're asking you to do is to call in your healing spirits, to call in for a spiritual hook, to call into the divine. And if you could have, this is what the divine is asking you right now. If you could have one wish, what would it be? How would it shape your life? How and why would you choose that? And how does it feel to be in that scenario? They really want you to be in that scenario, be in your story of who you would like to become, and really feel that. They really want you to get into alignment with that every day. Go back, keep going back to that. What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? Really get into that every single day. And each time something bad arises, find out why it's there, and then go back to that alignment. Each time that you swap in your old projections to something that you would like to project, eventually the new one that you're wanting to project will become the strongest. And you're going to have found ways that, there's going to be times where it's going to come in to stop you wanting to do that, but quickly remind yourself again, no, this is where I want to become, because your subconscious mind is wired to keep you safe in whatever that means to you. So old patterns are safe because they know what the outcome is to all of that, and they know that you can deal with that. When you start to rewrite the story, it's going to keep trying to drag you back to the old story. But once it realizes and it's in alignment, and it keeps turning and turning and turning with them same thoughts, knowing that those same thoughts are the thoughts that are going to be the strongest, that make you feel really good, then your mind will accept that. You are deciding now. You get to decide how it all comes together. And I truly hope that you choose you, because by choosing you, that's what's going to be coming into your story. You. Beautifully you. The sound. The nature outside. It's just truly beautiful here. I am so truly grateful to be here. And, this has taken me a long time to be on my journey. To be able to relax and have time. Now my children are getting older. I get to enjoy my grandchildren. I get to come out here in the morning before my children wake up. And I truly get to sit and hear the birds. And this is now where I choose. And I'm so grateful that I am that I am. And saying I am, no matter what that is to you, when you speak I am and say whatever comes after that, that is what your soul believes that you truly are. So I'd like you to know that saying I am a person that gets up earlier on a morning to be able to complete anything that you normally can't if you have young children. I am a beautiful soul. I am love. I am guidance. I am the oracle. I am the return to the one that was meant to be here in the first place, that was always going to find who I am today. And each day I am becoming stronger. I am gathering and I am finding my soul people. I am one with God. And I hope you have the most beautiful day. I wish you all the happiness in the world. If you could have one wish, what would that be?